Classic Racing Man here. Hope the volume's up nice and loud. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm actually remaking the airbox. One thing that I found after pulling the cubs apart, I know it's been a while, and here's the beast, is now that she starts and she runs and she idles beautifully, cubs were really dirty. Just a quick just a sort of rundown of what still needs to be done. Actually, before I go too far, I still need a new master brake cylinder, so I might actually get a new one of these completely. I don't really care what make or model of bike it comes off. There are two front brake calipers, so it needs to be a fairly bunty one. So yeah, I need a new one of those. The plates on the forks, the blanking plates for down there, are going to get made probably sometime this week. Going to really get stuck in now. It's the new year, and the is when you're throttling up, it'll only rev out to about 6 out of its potential 12, and then it'll die. It's really bad with no airbox on. Putting some restriction, just like your fingers or something over, just a bit of restriction allows it to rev right up. It's like it sucks too much fuel. Most people go, it's too much air sucking, but remember, as it's drawing more air, it's actually drawing more fuel as well, because it is a Venturi system. I apologise for recording this on my phone. I really need to get myself a camera, so I'll do that like this week. So anyway, I put the cubs back on. There's nothing wrong with them. So I'm assuming it's an airbox issue now. It is. We're acting as a Helmholtz resonator. It does need that restriction. So here's the original one, made of that crappy black plastic that you cannot glue with anything. I mean, super glue works okay, but it still really sucks, and I don't really trust it. Plus, that's what's left of it after I split it down the middle, and then I cut the back off as well, just because I wanted to make a ram air feed through the sides, on the sides of these. So basically what would happen is air would come down from under the radiator, or around the radiator, because I've got some input area there. I've also got some input area up here on the fairing. Doesn't really matter, and just charge it down into openings on the side of the airbox. And then obviously that goes in behind the filter and rams in now, but because this won't rev up properly without restriction, it makes me wonder if I'm hammering along and I'm charging cold air in there, is that going to cause a major issue later without sort of really restricting that flow down. So here's the new airbox start. As you can see, it's beautifully drilled holes. I didn't actually have a hole saw, so I had to sort of do my best, sort of getting the angles right now and everything. It's just tacked together with hot glue. Hot glue is just awesome for tacking shit. And I'm going to fiberglass it all up. This is only 1.5 mil ply. So anyway, that'll sit in there like that. Just going to make sure I get the angle right, and then I'll tack it again. So basically, actually that angle looks pretty good. Let's have a look. So it sits about there like that. And that angle there is pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. As you can see, it moves a bit if I push it around. So anyway, I'm just waiting for the car to get back, because I left one of my rubber doohickeys, doohickey majotsits, in the back of the car. So that'll be back shortly. So anyway, I'll just keep going here, and then I'll get back. So anyway, I'm just gonna now make a big fiberglass bead with a vinyl ester resin, or I think it's vinyl ester, maybe it's wax resin, I don't know, general purpose stuff, which will be fine for any oil or fuel and stuff that gets in there. I'm just going to run a bead around all of the edges. I'm going to leave that plastic in there. I'm just going to go straight over the top of it. That's just hot metal glue. I'm not even going to get rid of it. I'm just going to go straight over the top. As long as it's covered, it'll be fine, and then it'll be rigid as all hell, and it'll weigh next to nothing. That weighs about far out. Geez, I'd be surprised if it weighed 100 grams at this point. Okay, so I'm hoping you can hear this again. I am recording on my iPhone. New airbox fits nicely, very nicely actually. Nice and solid and snug in there. Where's my light? By the way, I'm using Windows 7 on my new laptop, and it's just awful. Windows, the movie maker on it is crap. I'm hoping you can see some light in there. So it's all nice and fitted quite well. Sits there quite nicely. Just needs a bit of a sand and stuff to get all those little bits of excess off. But it's nice and solid. I also managed to make my blanking plates. I need a bit of a clean up, but got the holes right in the right spot. I'm just going to very gently trace around that, and then just clean them up. And I also have to drill a whole bunch of holes. Well, not holes. I'm actually going to cut slits so the oil can travel from up the front down to the bottom. So good day today. Got a lot done. The original airbox, which was just a nightmare because nothing sticks to it either. Like fiberglass won't even stick to it. This is basically the part that I've made here, which I've just made to replace because I couldn't do anything with it. If I wanted to make tabs to screw the back plate on and put like a new filter box, like a square filter in there, couldn't do it. It's come out exactly the same width anyway as it originally was, and that's that. So yeah, again, I'm just going to put some slits in the side here with a little sort of forward-facing cup, so I can actually run like a ram air feed up here somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't really decided where the ram air is going to go yet. I've got to get it away from the engine so it actually sucks in cold air and not hot air. Is a big deal or a big thing. So a few options there, but we'll investigate that a bit later on. Next up is just finishing up, getting those forks done, and see where we go from there. And thanks for the dude in the forum to offer his services with the fiberglass. I'm sure I might actually probably need it come fairing time, actually, because I'm going to be making my own nose and stuff for this bike too. So Epic Racing Man, who isn't actually racing yet, and who is not an epic racer at all, really.